Hello, welcome back to my channel. Today I've got Liam on finally. It's been a bit difficult to get him on actually. He keeps going to Wales. So we finally got him on and we're going to do some transfer talk. Now, I've asked Liam to prepare a list for this stream of the players he wants to leave and the players he wants to get in. So we're just going to get started straight away, I think. Anything you want to say before we get into our lists?
No, just thanks for having me on, and make sure you've subscribed to Alf, and I'm gonna enjoy this.
Oh my god, this chat. Big up to everyone. Big up to Liam for the grades. This is City Rates. Jesus Christ, this chat. We haven't even begun yet. Come on, you Gunners. Mighty Arsenal, I hope you lose. Hala Madrid. You're right, South Sea. Hala Madrid. Yeah. Hello, how are you? Yeah, big up to Daciel as well. Subscribe to Liam if you somehow haven't already, but you're here. Big up to Magic Madrid. And today was open training at Jan Bredel. Wim told me about this. Today I am a Real Madrid fan. I think we're all hoping that Real Madrid wins that game, to be honest. Except Liam. Liam actually wants Madrid to go out, don't you?
No, I must have misspoken. I want Madrid to go through. I can't stand Arsenal.
Okay. I thought you meant that you wanted Arsenal to win backstage. So, we're going to be looking at this clusterfuck of a lineup here by me. So, let me explain myself. By the way, score prediction. Liam, you want to give a prediction for Arsenal? And maybe Bayern?
I think they'll draw 1-1. I think they'll go through.
Yeah, I think that Real Madrid will win, but it will be like by 1 goal, not enough. Like 2-1 or something like that. And for the Bayern München, I think they're going to get destroyed. Probably like 3-1 to enter. Remontada Bayern, it's not happening. Both can go out, so we all win. Through that. Yeah, for the Inter, what's your prediction on that?
I actually think, sorry company, but I think he's not experienced enough, so I think Inter will win 3-0 tonight.
Yeah, I've had the exact same thoughts. I think company is nowhere near experienced enough for, Europe, basically. Now, you guys might have noticed, I've got a few players here. These are the players that I'm bringing in, and that might be interesting to talk about, but before you can talk about bringing players in, who are those players replacing, right? So, we all know De Bruyne is leaving. We don't get a choice in that. He's gone. Ederson, I think both of our goalkeepers are not good enough this season. Ortega, shot stopping has been okay, but distribution, pathetic, honestly. And Ederson has been the opposite. So I've got both my goalkeepers, both our goalkeepers out, and I'm already thinking ahead. If we get both Ederson and Ortega out, we can bring in Trafford, who is homegrown, and then we open up an extra homegrown slot. What are your thoughts on the goalkeepers?
On the goalkeepers, I would try and keep Ederson, but it'd have to be you're signing up for a while, because I can't have my goalkeeper that's only committed for 1 year because his head, like this season, might be out of it, but I honestly don't think he'll sign up. So I think Ederson will leave, and Ortega, I could see him staying, but I've just put him on a list to stay because I could not think of a backup goalkeeper from anywhere. But I have got a number one. I've got a number one choice replacing Ederson.
Okay, so De Bruyne, you've got De Bruyne out as well, of course, I imagine.
Yeah, because nothing can do about that one.
Yeah, because some people are still saying we'll get De Bruyne to stay. Bro, give up. Give up, De Bruyne is gone. So I
saw some people making petitions and stuff like it's not going to work. You're not going to change a board's mind on a little petition. Like, come on.
Yeah. Maybe we can make a petition to get Bernardo to Benfica too. So I've got Wirtz here as a replacement, and some wild stuff coming out about Wirtz. Like, listen, I watched Bundesliga, especially last season. This season I've not watched a lot. Last season I was watching the Bundesliga for half the season. I watched Germany because I'm half German. If you don't watch Florian Wirtz, just tell me you don't watch Florian Wirtz, because the amount of terrible opinions I've seen about Wirtz Foden is better than him. Foden's best season is not as good as Wirtz last season. It's that simple. Wirtz is an incredible player. He's been incredible for Germany, barred one game in the Euros, and that's what most people seem to rate him on. He was actually our best player against Spain. This guy is like Kevin De Bruyne, but younger. He's not the same level, but no one is. Like, that's what people need to understand. No one is the same level as prime Kevin De Bruyne. You bring back Kevin De Bruyne at his prime right now, he's probably the best player in the world. So Wirtz is the closest we'll get to replacing him. I see people talking about Jetke to replace De Bruyne, and I'll explain why I've got Jetke and Pink later, but I don't think Jetke is a De Bruyne replacement. I think he's more of a Bernardo Silva replacement. He's a winger who can play in midfield and can do a bit of both, but he's not a pure 10 that will get to the... Well, he will get output, but he won't get the insane amount of output that Wirtz will. So, your thoughts on Wirtz, Liam? Because I'm assuming you've got him in your plan.
Yeah, of course. This fan base again on Twitter, the stupid Twitter app where people attack me. This Twitter app, people saying that we want Foden to start over him, want Bob. Like, come on, I love Bob, but it's not proven. I see people saying we should go for Baena over him. Like, Baena's good, but he's nowhere near the level of Wirtz. I just see loads of rubbish opinions online. With respect, I'm not calling... I rephrase that. I'm not trying to... Before people try and get me cancelled for calling people's opinions out. But some of the stuff I'm seeing is mad. Wirtz is definitely in my plans. I'd use McAtee and Ortega to try and get Wirtz plus money. And I think we can get it done. And I just don't get people saying that Foden and Bob could do better than Wirtz. Bob maybe somehow in the future, but Foden definitely can't. And I feel like people in this fan base want to like prioritise their favourite players over like the future and the well-being of the club. But that's just my opinion anyway.
Yeah. Just as I was about to talk, I got a chat hit from the Silt. Wirtz is not going to Bayern. He's a Bayern München fan, by the way. Just his father being a fanboy. Wirtz prefers Man City, by the way. He's just blatantly said he prefers Man City. Man City has more money to give him. I'm not talking about offering to Bayer Leverkusen. I'm talking Man City is willing to pay higher wages. Man City needs Wirtz more. Man City is not a Bundesliga rival of Bayer Leverkusen. Bayer Leverkusen don't want to sell to Bayern München. I actually, in recent weeks, talking to Bayern München fans, have become a lot more confident that we'll get Wirtz. Because everyone is talking, oh, he's going Bayern. Why do you think he's going Bayern? Because he's German? Not every German player wants to go to Bayern München. Leverkusen and Bayern are rivals. Dortmund and Bayern München are not rivals. They're the two biggest clubs in Germany. No, they're not. Dortmund is third biggest. They've got third most amount of league titles. That's about where their rivalry ends. There was never a real rivalry there. So when a Dortmund player goes to Bayern München, that's very different from a Leverkusen player to Bayern München. Especially recently, where there's been a recent rivalry between them two. So I don't think that Wirtz is going to Bayern. I think he's either staying at Leverkusen or coming to Man City.
Well, to be honest, I've been thinking today. I've been out all day, but I've had Wirtz on my mind the whole day. Every time I'm on Twitter, I just saw Wirtz. And before today, and it actually is today that it's changed. I was like, no, Bayern. I said we had a slim chance. But the reports that I'm actually seeing coming out at the past couple of weeks, I'm seeing a lot more of Wirtz prefers City. It's his dad who wants him to go to Bayern, and City are willing to pay the price. Leverkusen did have their representatives or whatever, coaching staff in Manchester. I know it was probably for McAtee or Ortega, but you can't tell me that he didn't just say a little word about Wirtz, you know. For me, I now think Florian Wirtz is going to come to City. I'm going to give it around a 60 to 70% chance now. Whilst before, like the last few days, I was like at a 20-30% chance. So I think we'll actually get Wirtz over the line. I'm seeing a lot of good signs. And I think, this is my prediction, in the next month, we'll have a Jack gone, Florian Wirtz, the deal's done. That's my opinion anyway.
Personally, I think we're going to use both McAtee and Ortega in that Words deal because they want both of them. If they were coming for the McAtee, like let's say those representatives were only there to talk about McAtee, Man City will have said, well, we want Florian Wirtz. You can have McAtee, but we want Wirtz. So even if they were just there for McAtee, it doesn't enter McAtee. McAtee is a part of the Wirtz deal, I think. So is Ortega if they are actually interested in him, which reports are conflicting there, but Wirtz definitely most interesting player to talk about. But we'll come back to him later actually, because I've got Cherki, Hernandez, and Livramento in this 11 as well. And let me explain why here. With the players I've got going out, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 not homegrown players leaving. I'm bringing in 1, 2, 3, 4 not homegrown players, because Livramento obviously is homegrown. Now you might have noticed I've got a few players here next to my other ones. I've got Hernandez as a left back because, I mean, does anyone want to argue with me that Theo Hernandez is best left back in the world right now? What do you say, Lee?
Honestly, I gotta be completely honest. I've watched him once all season, I think, and that was when he got sent off, I believe. I think it was him. So I've watched him once. He was terrible that game. But I can't really say much. I've watched him once. I don't know. I'm not gonna lie, to be honest.
What about Madrid? Madrid doesn't have a good left back. What do you mean?
I don't know what you mean, sir.
The Kuiper is a good left back, though. Big up to the Kuiper, but he's not Man City quality, is he? Yeah, I've also, by the way, a lot of people are talking about a right back and they're talking about Cambiasso. I've got two different possibilities, and tell me what you think here, yeah? Because the right back that you are replacing is Kyle Walker. That is a homegrown player. Replace a homegrown player with a homegrown player. I think we're going for Livramento at the moment, and if we don't get him, Wan-Bissaka, AWB is Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I actually rate Wan-Bissaka. I think he could come to Man City, and in this thing here, I have Wan-Bissaka up here in my lineup, just to assume that we failed to get Hernandez, Livramento, because I prefer him. But Wan-Bissaka is a very solid right back, I think. He can go up the pitch as well. So I've got him or Livramento. And that way, again, it's homegrown slots that matter. So who do you have as right back, by the way? Because I'm assuming you're bringing in two fullbacks.
Yeah, my two fullbacks are Kirkes from Bournemouth. I think he's going Liverpool. Why not try and hijack that deal? And I've gone for Livramento first, but I actually don't think we're going to get him, to be totally honest. So my second choice is also homegrown, and that is Robinson from Fulham. He's homegrown. He's born in UK. I think he'd be a good, even start at times in lower table games, but rotational option. And I think he's just an all-round good fullback, to be honest. He can whip a crossing as well, and he's got that homegrown factor. So they're my fullbacks.
By the way, about Madrid getting words, it's just not happening. It's just not happening. They don't need words. They already have a bunch of superstars who they're paying immense salaries. They're short a striker right now, not a midfielder. They're trying to figure out what's going to happen with all their midfielders that they already have too many of. Wirtz has no interest in Real Madrid. His family has no interest in Real Madrid. I don't really know why Wirtz would go to Madrid. I don't think that's happening. I don't think that's happening. What do you think about Wirtz Madrid? Because I just think there's no chance.
You know them transfers that you just can't see or can't imagine in your head? I just cannot see him at Madrid. I can see him staying at Leverkusen. I can see him go to Bayern. I can see him coming to City. But in no way in my head, I've not even given it a 1% chance, him going to Madrid. But people say, oh, but Alonso might be going there. I just don't. Why would he just follow his manager everywhere he goes? I just don't think that'll be a factor, and I just can't see him at Real Madrid at all.
I also don't think Alonso will go to Madrid, by the way. A bit off topic. I also don't think Alonso is going to Madrid, because we've seen a lot of news about that, but he's not giving any indication he wants to leave Leverkusen. At the moment, you know what I think Alonso wants? I think Alonso wants to go either to Bayern München or he wants to go to Man City, one or the other. That's what I think. Or maybe Liverpool, because don't forget he was a Liverpool player himself. So I think at the moment he'll wait at Leverkusen until one of those three spots open up. I'm a Madrid fan, but I think City gets worse. Yeah, I think so too. Anyhow, I am actually very interested what you've got, because I've also got here Bar coming back, and when we look at this shit, we've got 4 centre backs. I think Man City has a centre back problem in having too many. Like, we get rid of Ake, we get rid of Stones, maybe Akanji. I don't think we'll get rid of all 3 of them. We still have too many centre backs. You have 6 centre backs competing for 2 spots. So we're not going to revert to a back 3, I think. We should get full backs in, because that's what Pep has been saying he wants. What do you think what is going to happen with the centre backs? Because currently, Vitor Reis already can't get a game.
I would get rid of John Stones. I'd bring in Juma Bar. If Victor Hayes wants to go on loan, let him go on loan back to his club or whatever. But that's just only if he wants to. If he's happy just to stay and not play for another year, all right. And I'd also get a good option. I think Murillo from Forest is very good. I really like him. I think he's a very good centre back. But yeah, that's what I would do. I'd get rid of Stones, bring in Juma Bar. I would see if Hayes is happy just to not play. If he wants to go on loan, let him go on loan. And yeah, Murillo. That's what I'd do with the centre backs.
By the way, do you have Tijani Reinders in your list? Just getting ahead here. Do you have Tijani Reinders in?
Yeah. Is that how you pronounce his name? I have no idea how to pronounce it. Yeah, I have him.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about midfield, yeah, because midfield, I think a lot of people are expecting a lot more to happen with that midfield than I think will actually happen, because our midfield is not that bad, if we're being honest. It's just the lineups have been bad. We've got 2 attacking midfielders, Echeverri and Foden. That's not even including Wirtz coming in. We've got 2 6s in Rodri and Gonzalez. We've got Kovacic, Gundogan, who is staying, and O'Reilly. All 3 of them are box-to-box midfielders. Pep has said as much. He's a box-to-box midfielder, but you have no left back at the moment, so he has to play left back. When we get a left back in, that problem is solved. O'Reilly can go into midfield. We don't actually need a midfielder that much. Of course, I want Wirtz, but honestly, just one midfielder solves our midfield problems, if I'm being honest. Echeverri, he might go on loan, but he might also play a lot of minutes. Do you think we need more than just Wirtz in midfield?
Yeah, I do, because I do think that Gundogan, it can't play that much. Bernardo, I want him gone. Let me just put that out. No disrespect to him, but I just think he can't offer anything. Kovacic, I would let leave as well. So I would let Kovacic and Bernardo leave, and I would bring in Morgan Rogers and Reinders as well. I think there'd be 2 good options. And Villa are constantly, apparently, from what I heard from someone, can't remember who it was now. It was some City YouTuber that knows someone, I don't know. They said that Villa keep needing to sell because of PSR. I think it was Martin, actually. He said they keep needing to sell because of PSR. So I'd go for Rodgers. I'd go for Reinders, whatever, as well.
But Will Rodgers wants to be on the bench, because is he getting ahead of Oscar Bob? I'm not sure. Is he getting ahead of, because he can play right wing, left wing, attack midfield. He's not getting ahead of Wirtz if we do get him. Like, Tijani, I understand why you want to get him. If you let Kovacic go, you can bring Reinders in. But Rodgers, I'm not really sure on that. Where does he play, if at all?
I would like probably share his minutes with like Oscar Bob and give him like most of Bernardo's minutes, what he would have got, and then or Kovacic's minutes, and then I would give Bob Bernardo's minutes. That's what I probably would do. And honestly, if he comes and he accepts coming, he's not happy with his game time, then just keep moving the squad on, keep replacing players. I'm not here for sentimental. I'm not here to get attached to players. I want to win trophies. So I keep moving players on. If they're not happy, just look at our treble squad. We had a stacked squad that season. Some players weren't happy, but we won a treble. I don't care if they're not happy. If you're not good enough to start and you're whining about it, then leave and bring someone else in who's good enough.
Yeah, but I've got a thing open here, yeah? Tell me your lineup next season if all your transfers go through. Tell me your lineup. All your transfers go through.
All right, so it would be... It would be Chevalier in net, Lucas Chevalier.
Okay.
Did I even pick a right back?
You probably didn't, because nobody can think of a good one.
I can't think of a right back. Just any right back who's good enough. I don't know who, but that's that.
We'll go with Livramento.
That's right. Yeah, he'd be good. I'd go with which centre back? I'd probably go with Diaz and Gavardiol at centre back. Still, I think they're very good at centre back.
Yeah.
I'd go with my first option at left back would be Kirkes. In midfield, it would be Rodri, Wirtz, and Reinders, and up top it would be Haaland, Bob, and Marmoush. But if we can find a world-class ready-made winger who comes available, he'd probably get in over Bob at first. That's my lineup.
You said Wirtz and Reinders, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me just get this in here. So, this is your lineup. With Bob on right wing.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. You would immediately bring in Reinders, though. Bring him in, immediately start playing him?
Yeah, I think he's good enough. I
think he's good enough as well. Like, I take the piss sometimes. I say I don't want him because he's Dutch. I'm Belgian. I'm required to hate on Dutch players. That's the law. But nah, I take the piss sometimes, but I think he's good enough. Question is, you're dropping Gonzalez.
Yes, I probably would. Yeah, I think I would, to be honest. I think Nico can be another squad option next season, and if he proves he's good enough, he can start over Reinders. But at first, I would put Reinders in, to be honest, because I think he could do a perfect job replacing what Gundogan used to do in the older times.
Running across the pitch.
Yeah, box crashing and stuff. Got a lot of goals from that, from what I've seen. And I think he'd be really good Gundogan replacement from what we used to actually get from Gundogan. That box crashing, coming in with goals. I think he'd be a great replacement.
Yeah, he's got 10 goals. I just looked it up. So he is contributing with goals as well. And that's a bad AC Milan team, by the way. That AC Milan team is just creatively they're so dull. Defensively they're still solid, but creatively they're very dull. So to get 10 goals with that AC Milan team as a midfielder is actually quite impressive. I think that's more than any of their other attacks, probably. Trubin in. Who is Trubin?
I think he said in my stream on the morning show that it's some Ukrainian goalkeeper, but everyone in the chat was saying he's crap, but I don't think I've ever watched him, to be honest.
Is that a goalkeeper, Trubin? Where does he play? Bro, you've never watched this man. Let's be honest, you've never watched this man. Steve, have you watched a single game of Trubin? Because I have actually bothered to watch a full replay of Chevalier. I have actually wasted my time on that, and he was actually quite decent. Because if you want to bring players in here, you can't talk about players you've never watched. I don't know, that's just me, isn't it? That's just me. But, like, for example, take an example here, yeah? A lot of people are hyping up Gyökeres. I'm not saying he's bad, but have you ever watched Gyökeres play? Like, you know, if you don't watch these players play, you don't know how good they are. Same with the Ketelaar. Shadow the Ketelaar gets a lot of hype. People haven't watched him. They don't know how good they are. He is. So, very difficult for me to say, yeah, get Trubin in when I've never watched him. He may be good, but maybe he's not. And you don't know that if you don't watch them.
Yeah, I've never watched that Trubin, to be honest. I've only listed players that I watch. And with Gyökeres, I see a lot of people still saying, "Oh, we should get him as a backup striker." That is definitely a player that just won't come. He's one of the highest rated strikers right now overall in the world. Why would he come and sit on the bench to Haaland? And Marmoush will probably play behind Haaland sometimes as well. I just
and for Haaland, when Haaland is injured, Marmoush will play.
Yeah, exactly, and that's why Gyökeres he'll never come. He'll never come.
Yeah. I don't think Gyökeres. I think Gyökeres will actually go to Liverpool or to Bayern Munich, one of them two. Just because they both need a really good striker, and Gyökeres, from what I've seen, looks like a really good striker. Again, I've not seen enough. So I'm going to jump around here a bit. I'm going to go back to what I've got from my lineups, and let me explain why here. Now, before you tell me anything about homegrown, we have in 16, I believe, not homegrown players. The maximum amount is 17. So we're still within. Loans, I've only got 2 loan players here. So you've got another 4 loans open for academy players, for whatever, right? So this is my idea behind the lineup. Because you know how people say 2 world-class players in every position? Well, that's impossible. That's impossible. You're not going to get 2 world-class strikers. We had it with Alvarez. Alvarez left immediately. We have it with Marmoush right now, but Marmoush plays left wing to accommodate. But the closest you can have is a world-class player in every position, and then a very good backup in every position. So I've got a bit of a dilemma here, and let me just explain my first team. So in my first team, I think this is incredibly solid. Now, in his first team here from Liam, he's getting catches as well, but he's dropping Gonzalez for Reinders, which I think is a bit wild actually, but for the rest we have all the same. Let me put Livramento in here actually. These are the players we failed to get, by the way. These are like the signings I want that we don't end up getting. So this is pretty much the same team except for Reinders, which I think it shows that we know ball. We picked pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, definitely. We have good ball knowledge.
But the problem is with the B team. And you know why it's a problem? We can get 2 fullbacks, probably. We can't get 3, I think. And the reason why is we still need to get other positions. We could be getting 2 goalkeepers this summer. We're already getting a midfielder for sure, potentially 2 midfielders, 3 right backs on top of that, and we're clearing out a lot of players. I think that's a big ask. So the problem is we're running low on fullbacks then. We've only got the 2 of them. And then who do you play as fullback as the backup option? This is the backup team, by the way, if you're wondering. Realistically, it's O'Reilly and it's Akanji, a centre back and a defensive midfielder. Who do you play as a striker? Because let's assume we play a pure B team. I think we'll still be playing with a false 9. I think there'll be Savinho, Etcheverry, or Foden playing as a false 9. And I think all of these players will be rotating a lot along this front 4. Etcheverry, by the way, I know a lot of people are saying throw him in midfield. I want to see him in midfield. Pep Guardiola doesn't throw young players in midfield. He puts them on the wings first. O'Reilly is a left back now. Lewis is a right back. He's a midfielder, but he's playing as right back. Foden was a midfielder in the academy, has played most of his career on the wings. Pep doesn't just put young midfielders into midfield. So I think we're actually going to see Etcheverry, if he plays at all, on the right wing a lot.
Yeah, I agree spot on with that. With every young player that comes through, always put out on the wing. I can't really think of exceptions there. Even if they're like a defender, like a defensive midfielder, a deep midfielder, they're on the full-back. If they're a centre-back, they'll probably be at full-back. If anywhere up the pitch, they'll be on the wingers. Always what Pep does, never trust them in the middle, and he's not going to change that, is he?
Yeah, it's just not... It's unfortunate, I think, because Etcheverry, I'm hearing a lot of people hype him up, and I'm hearing LB hype him up, and LB, well, he gets carried away sometimes. He got carried away with Gundogan coming back. But LB did watch the entire tournament there with Etcheverry, And I just want to see what he's going to do in midfield. I just don't think it's happening. I just don't think it will be happening. Other than what we've got here in third 11, because third 11 is pretty much the same. Not much conversation to be had about that. What do you think about my second 11? What's different in yours compared to my second 11?
So let's see what you've got in here. Yeah, net Trafford would be fine. I could not think of a backup goalkeeper. I'd keep Akanji for rotation at right back or centre back. Kuznov and Bar. Yeah, the back four is the same. Although if Murillo can't get in first team games, he'll probably be in the second team for the season. The double pivot, it would be Gundo and
because you don't have Kovacic anymore.
Yeah, I don't have
Gundo and Nico Gonzalez.
Yeah, that'd be my double pivot. The attacking midfield, I'd go Rodgers for now. He wouldn't come in as a starter for me, so for there I'd go Rodgers. And starting the season with Foden on the right, Doku on the left, I agree with that. And yeah, it'll probably have to be rotation in false nine because Marmoush is going to need rests, and we can't play Marmoush with the second team because when's he going to get his rest?
I think what's going to happen a lot is Savio playing on the left wing for Marmoush to get Marmoush rested. I don't think these players will get rested at the same time. I think we're going to have one player rested in one game, like Haaland rested and Savio playing on the left wing, and then Marmoush rested and Savio playing on the left wing. And that's how Savio gets his minutes, and then we'll have Marmoush and Haaland in the team, but maybe Wirtz out, and then you have your Rodgers or your Foden in attack midfield. I think that's how we're going to rest players. It's going to be 2, maybe 3 players rested a game, not just a bunch of players rested at the same time, a full B team. But, I mean, in theory, if we're playing a full B team, let's say we have a very easy game in the Champions League, for example. What are they called? Who did we play this season? Some random team from
Bratislava.
Yeah, Bratislava. Some random ass team. If we play like a team like that, then I think we might see a full B team. In that B team, we won't have a striker again because Marmoush is going to play a lot of left wing. He needs to get rested. Then we're playing a false 9. If we get Rodgers in, by the way, can Rodgers be your false 9?
Yeah, I think he'd be one of the ones that gets rotated there. I think he can definitely shoot. He can drive a ball, positioning good. I think he can have attributes of that, so you can rotate him with that false 9 with the other attackers as well, probably.
Yeah, and I've got one very interesting thing to talk about, by the way.
Yeah,
Doku and Frimpong. I think Doku might be leaving. And Frimpong, he's not a right back, by the way. He's a right winger. He's a right midfielder, right winger. If Doku leaves, I'm looking at Frimpong to replace Doku. First of all, do you think Doku is leaving? Let's start with that.
It's a tough one. I can see like a sort of more shock transfer with one of the younger players or middle-aged players this summer. I think if anyone was going to leave out of that group of like 20 to 27, I think it'd probably be Doku. I can see it. I don't think it's going to happen, but definitely don't rule it out. And I think if it does happen, then I think I would go and try. And first of all, even if Doku doesn't leave, I'd just see if a world-class winger becomes available. Mm-hmm. But if Doku does leave, I think I'd just go and try and get a world-class winger as well, in my opinion. It might be too much. If not, I'd go for Frimpong, like you said.
Yeah. 1 second here. Let me just disable my video for a little minute. And now I'm This Is City as well. There you go. That is annoying. I can't change that, can I? No, I can't. Well, that's annoying. Can I change that? Maybe if I... Oh, yes, I can. 1 second. Technical issues, guys. Technical issues. There you go. Now I am not This Is City.
Yeah.
Right. What did you say? Sorry, I wasn't listening. My apologies.
So if Doku was to leave, I can see it. I think if, like I said, if it was one of the age group from 20-year-olds to 27-year-olds, like them sort of younger players and middle-aged players, I think if it was one player, that's going to be like the sort of shock exit, because I think there will be a shock exit. I think it will be Doku. I don't think it'll happen. I think it'll be somebody we actually totally don't expect, but I don't know who it will be. But I think if most likely guy is Doku. If Doku was to leave, I would personally, I'd wait for a world-class winger anyway. If one comes available, I'd just go and get him, even if Doku doesn't leave. But if Doku does leave, I would then go all out for a world-class winger. And if you can't get that, try a week or 2 weeks, try your best. And you probably won't be able to get that, but just try. And if not, in my opinion, go and get Frimpong. I think that would be a perfect replacement. I think that'd actually be an upgrade, to be honest.
Who is the world-class winger you're saying then?
Well, it would have been Kvaratskhelia. He's at PSG. This fan base on social media in January told me that he's no good. He's on Grealish's level. You want average players. You're this, you're that, because you want Kvaratskhelia. And I don't know where this Grealish comparison's coming from. He had a stink last night, but he's so clear of him. I don't know where that came from. Just mutants on Twitter.
Grealish is gone. He's gone, isn't he?
Yeah, he's defo gone. And
Do
then
you think we can still get decent money out of him? Because he's only 28 start of next season, I believe.
I think he'll go to Spurs or Newcastle, I think.
You think Spurs want... Why would they need Grealish?
Because Daniel Levy don't have a clue what he's doing. I think he'll just go and get him. The Spurs fan base will just lap up anything. No.
It's a Man City player. He's a treble winner.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
They'll
say they'll go, he can bring us trophies. He can do this. You know, Spurs fans, Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that happening. If not, I can see Newcastle or perhaps a return to Villa, but we'll see.
I don't think he's going to Villa. I think what Villa have right now is better than him. By the way, Rashford. A lot of people don't respect Rashford. I think Rashford is actually a good player when he's on his game. And he's had a problem of being tossed around a lot of managers with different philosophies. Now at Villa, they're going to play the same way. He knows how he's going to play at Villa. I think Rashford is a good player. Rashford is going to play on the wing. Grealish isn't getting in there. Midfield. They have a better midfield than... alternate midfielders are better than Grealish, I think. Morgan Rodgers is better. Tielemans is better. So I just don't see Grealish going back to Villa.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't think it's going to happen, but that's just the three options that come to my head, and from the links that I've seen, I think it'd be, I think most likely to Newcastle, I don't even know how he'd go there and be a starter, but probably another rotation option. Or probably most likely to Spurs, to be honest. Then I can see him going Newcastle. I'm just going off links that I've seen.
Yeah.
And then the sentimental return to Villa. Because apparently, like I heard someone saying that Villa need to keep refreshing the squad, refreshing. So, I don't know. But that's just the three places I could see him going. Could we see him going to Saudi? I don't know. We'll see.
So right, I'll get back to Jet in a second, but first, Baena. Here's my thing here. I like Baena. He's no Words, and Words. Pep Guardiola and Words have already sat down and talked. By the way, I think people are missing out on this. Words and Pep already talked to each other, and Words liked what he heard. There is no reason for us not to get Words. There really isn't. We need to go out, give Leverkusen whatever they want, give them McAtee, give them Ortega, give them the money, and get Words in. Give Words the money he wants. Baena, I mean, what is your opinion on Liam? Have you watched him a lot?
Yeah, I've watched some YouTube compilations of him, to be honest.
But have you actually watched him play?
No, I've not. I like the look of him. I like his. I've researched him a lot. I've seen a lot of stats. I can't bring myself to watch his team because I can't get La Liga on my TV in the UK. But yeah, I think he'll be a good option if we can't get like Wirtz. First of all, you can't just go for one other player. I think you have to go for two or perhaps even three if you can't get Wirtz for whatever reason. And I think you could maybe go for Baena and Cherky if you can't get Verts. But first of all, let me just clarify with this fan base on Twitter, all these people called like Foden season and stuff, saying we should go for Cherky and Baena over Verts. Have we not learned our lesson? Go for the quality player. These people aren't learning the lesson. The reason why we're in this bit of a mess in the first place is not going for the quality players and going for cheaper options and going for quantity over quality, like with Nunes and Kovacic when we could have got like Rice or Bellingham that summer. People aren't learning the lesson, in my opinion.
To be fair, Rice just blatantly didn't want to play for us, to be fair. But the fan base, the thing with the fan base, in my opinion, is they are too sentimental about these players. Now, we're seeing it with Gundogan coming back. People were way too sentimental about that. I was saying, you don't want Gundogan back. He's washed because I actually watch La Liga. Now, no disrespect to anyone who doesn't watch La Liga, but don't talk about La Liga players like this if you haven't watched them. A lot of players I've seen in La Liga, I rate them. That don't mean I want them at Man City. Let me give you a good example here. Not just Baena, because Baena is too obvious. Murillo, really solid player. I don't want him at Man City. There's a lot of players in La Liga that are good, but I don't want them at Man City. And people who don't watch these leagues, they just see a player and they're like, yeah, I want him in. I want him in. And like, it's just like, you want everyone in, isn't it? Simmons, we'll talk about him in a second. Right. Before we continue here, from chat, Godfat, is that how you pronounce your name? My apologies if I mispronounced that. I'm a bit late, big up to you anyways, so. Who is buying Phillips? Calvin Phillips will not be bought. We'll have to loan him out again. So that uses up our third loan spot, but I think that's alright. We've got 3 other loan spots left. What do you think would happen with Calvin Phillips? Just loaned out again?
Yeah, can't even see a championship club buying him, to be honest. I think another loan. And it goes on. Loan.
How long is his contract, by the way? 2027, I believe.
I don't know. Probably something like that, considering he joined in 2022. I assume it'll be that.
Oh, yeah, it was a 5-year contract. It's 2027.
Yeah.
We need to stop giving these random players 5-year contracts. Give them a 3-year contract, not a 5-year contract. If they're good, we know they're good. Yeah, Leeds wants to bring him back. But will they want to pay the price for him? Or will they, and will Phillips want to reduce wages? Or will they be like, let's get a cheeky loan in here? I think that's more likely. Who's coming in for Lewis? Who do you think is coming in for Lewis? That's right back.
Honestly, I think we'll just sign fullbacks. We'll probably bring another academy fullback in, and I think Akanji will just be pushed as a rotational right back, and do that job, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think Rico Lewis is good enough for us, just blatantly, not even for the bench. As a midfielder, he's nowhere near the quality of some of the other midfielders we have. As a right back, he's just not a right back. As a winger, we've got so many wingers already. We've got currently Bob fighting for time on the wing with Doku. Both of them are better wingers than Lewis. So, honestly, who is not better than Lewis at the moment? Yeah, Doku leaving. That was my wild card. That was a bit of a shock in case it does happen. I don't actually think it will happen, though, as you can see here in my full lineup. And who's buying Nunez? You can go on that first, Liam, because I've got a good answer to this question.
Nunez. Maybe like Tottenham, I could see. I don't know. I could see maybe another mid-table Prem
Tottenham is not buying all-out players.
Well, to be honest, I just go in there as an easy option because they're like 17th or somewhere. So I'm trying to get everyone to Daniel Levy to take and their delusional fan base to just take in. I have no idea. I've not thought about that at all. I agree exactly on Doku. I don't think he's gonna leave, but I think if that would probably be the shock option, and that little shock option that people don't expect Doku to leave, I think it'd probably be him. honestly, just looking at like, I know you can't really tell, but like his body language, the way he's like looking at the moment, it doesn't really look too happy. Maybe I'm looking too much into it, but every time I've not seen him smile, I don't think once all season. I'm probably looking too much into it, but I think he seems too happy here, to be honest.
Yeah. My thing is with Matheus Nunes, he's not a bad player. He is not a bad footballer. On the wings for us, he's played okay. On right back, he's actually played okay for some games. Overall, he's been bad, but for some games on right back, he's been okay for us. This guy was brought in to play in midfield, did not get a sniff of midfield, played left wing, right back, left back, and in pretty much all those positions, he performed at different levels. Sometimes he plays very badly. He's not good enough for Man City. Yes, but he's not a bad player. And he's proven that he can be very versatile. He's been insulted by a manager when he plays very good, by the way. We'll talk about that in a second. But bad? Absolutely not. I think there will be plenty of clubs who want to buy him. His wages aren't that insane either. He's not on that insane wages. If you win the FA Cup, by the way, I mean, that's a player who's won a Premier League title, who's won an FA Cup, that you can now go on, sell to some delusional fan base, some random club, or bring him back to Portugal. I think Matheus Nunes, we can get sold. There will be buyers. Just because you can't name them doesn't mean they aren't there. A lot of different clubs can use a player like Nunes. If you go, say in July, he's on the market, anyone wants him, this is the price. If you give a reasonable price, you'll probably get him sold off. Going on to Leeds here. Yeah, if Leeds gets promoted to the Premier League, they'll try to bring Calvin Phillips in.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I think Leeds will come up, to be honest. So I think if anywhere Phillips is going to go, I think it'll be Leeds. And on Nunes, honestly, he's very frustrating at times because of the bozo moments. People who watch my channel and will watch alongs will know I get very angry when he makes a bozo moment. The historic one against United where I punched my desk and everything came crashing down. That was one of the worst football games ever. But with Nunes, I can see him going back to Sporting. I feel bad for him. He's coming to play midfield. I think he played midfield like once against Burnley or something, and I think he was actually pretty decent from what I can remember. He's never been put there since. Played right back, left wing, right wing, everywhere you can think of, and he's been called basically an idiot by his own manager. I'd be surprised if he's not depressed, to be honest. I feel well bad for him.
That's the thing, isn't it? Some players' mental health is important, like Foden, but like players like Nunes, oh no, your mental health doesn't matter. Calvin Phillips. This manager called Calvin Phillips overweight in the media. Even if it's true, you don't say that in the media. And this is the thing here. I said Alex Ferguson never did this with players, and a bunch of people got angry at me. Oh, you're calling Ferguson better than Pep. Yes, because Ferguson did not abuse his players. Let's remove your bias because, oh, it's Man United. Ferguson did not abuse his players in public. That is one thing I cannot stand about Pep. He picks his favorites, and those he doesn't like become his scapegoat, his excuse. Nunes is one of those players. Calvin Phillips was one of those players, even though Phillips didn't even play. That I can't stand about Pep. Nunes wants to go back to Sporting, by the way.
Yeah, I saw that interview about him wanting to go back there. I saw that, and yeah, he's not good enough for us. No sentiment from me, but there is a bit of sentiment. I just feel kind of bad for him. If I was in his position, I'd be very depressed, to be honest. Being played right back when you're a midfielder, being played left wing when you're a midfielder, and then after doing all that, putting through all that, getting called an idiot in the media. I just don't get that. And with the Phillips thing, you should keep that private, in my opinion. And the thing is, what's funny is Pep literally said in the All or Nothing Amazon documentary, he said that I'll defend you until the last days of our lives in the press conference. Well, where did that go for Nunes or Phillips? That defo didn't help their confidence. I don't rate them. I think they need to leave, in my opinion. But the only sentimental perspective you get from me with players is when they get called out in the media, because it's not great for them. It's not great for them.
Yeah. Cambiasso, by the way. Let's talk about Cambiasso. Have you watched him?
Yeah, but I didn't notice him, to be honest, because I was just ranting when we lost to Juventus 2-0. If he even played that night. I remember
you
we
probably
played
didn't
that.
notice him because he's a ghost. Juventus fans want some goal.
Yeah, I saw that.
When you want to buy a player, you need to look at what the fan base that you're buying from thinks. Juventus don't rate him. Juventus fans don't rate him. He goes in every game I've watched of Juventus, and I've watched a few games of Juventus. Talk about Vlahovic, by the way, he's a quality striker. Livramento is a ghost. The ghost of fucking Turin. Bro, you might as well not be playing on that pitch. You might as well have 10 men when you have Cambiasso there. So a lot of people here, no offense, if you don't watch players, don't rate them. Like, if you don't watch a player, just say, I haven't watched him. That's what I do. Like Gyökeres. I ain't watched Gyökeres enough, I don't know how good he is. Nunez not good enough, I agree with that. Have Nico now, don't need to watch him. Nico Gonzalez, I assume you mean? Yes. Chat, what are you thinking about our centre-back position? We don't need another centre-back, though. We have too many centre-backs. Guys, think about this. We have nine centre-backs at Man City Football Club right now. We have 9.
Yeah. With centre-backs, like I said, we've gone through that. I would let Stones go, let Hayes go on loan, and I'd just replace them two with Jumaba and Murillo from Forest. That's what I'd do. Be up to you, Lakshmi, and yeah, be up to you, man.
Yeah, but we have so many centre backs. We need to get rid of them, not buy new ones at the moment. Yuma Ba, by the way, I was rating Yuma Ba from his debut at Valladolid. I watched his debut against Real Sociedad, I believe, with Valladolid. I was already rating him then. These stocks are going to come in high, I promise you, yeah. Next season, he will come into Man City, he will be a bench player. Season after that, that's when he's going to start playing. I promise you, he's quality. He's quality. Yeah, watch that 25, Cambiasso. Cambiasso is a bit like proper Pep play. That's the problem. So Pep is going to change his style. Pep's style will change a lot, won't it, next season? Because Pep has said a lot. Yeah, this stuff isn't working anymore. Do you think Pep will play the same style next season as he's done in like Centurions and Treble, or do you think it will be completely different?
No, I think it could be similar maybe to the Centurion style, going back to fast wingers, wingers who can finish, such as Marmoush. I know he's not a winger, but he probably will be stuck out on the left. And then fullbacks coming forward, I can see that. I think we're going to go more towards fullbacks and fast wingers, a bit more like the Centurion style, not like the treble style. Hopefully nothing like this season, sideways, backwards. I just want exciting football, whatever that is, and I do think we're going to get it if we get the players that are required.
Yeah. I think we can do both, though. I think we can have best of both worlds with that Centurions and Trebles. With you've got Bob, by the way. Bob is a very controlled winger. If you want to replicate what Jack Grealish did, Bob is there, but Jack Grealish has something extra that, Bob, has something extra that Grealish didn't, and that is cutting inside, cutting a ball back, or coming inside and scoring, which Grealish didn't do for us, really. If he wants to do that, yeah, we can always push Guardiola into that role that John Stones played. He can do that well. You can always push up your fullbacks as well, but then you come to this type of formation. And well, what is this formation even?
I don't even know, man.
Or you could have it on the opposite end, and then you have 2 strikers. Revolutionary football, I suppose.
Yeah, yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, as it's the 1920s when they played with 2-6. We're going back to 1920s football.
Oh yeah, just conceding 3 to Norwich and stuff. That season was actually it was kind of wild. I mean, we won at the Bernabeu and then we lost to teams like Norwich. That was the only season we won at the Bernabeu as well. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. How did we even win at the Bernabeu? I think that game was strict. 1920 we were just terrible, weren't we? On a complete side there.
Yeah, apart from that back end of the season. I remember the Atalanta game when like Bravo got sent off, Ederson got injured, and that same week we got like panned by Liverpool at Anfield. I think we only lost 3-1, but I remember us getting absolutely battered that game.
Yeah. Anyhow, to round up, your full list of players that we're gonna buy was, I believe, or that you want us to buy, is Words, Reinders. I believe you said Chevalier.
Yeah,
Chevalier. Kirk, as you said, and then any right back. That's your full list?
Yeah, and preferably that right back would be Livramento, but I don't think we'll manage to get him. I can't think of anyone else, to be honest.
Yeah, and if Doku goes, if we replace him with Frimpong or a world-class winger who is currently at PSG, so we won't get him. Anyhow, you have to go soon, don't you?
Going out to watch Madrid Arsenal. We're looking forward to it. Come on, Madrid, please do something. I cannot stand these Arsenal fans. And guys, if Arsenal win the Champions League, you won't hear from me all summer. I'm staying off social media all summer, so let's hope that doesn't happen.
Lakshim, big up to you, by the way. Big up to everyone who has subscribed. What are we on subscriber-wise now? What are we on? Oh, we're at 700. Big up to everyone. We have just hit 700.
Hey, that's good. That's mint.
Thank you, everyone. Big up for that. And I just want to say, yeah, Yuma Ba, I watched him at Valladolid. I watched him at Lyon, sorry. I watched him at Sierra Leone. He is genuinely the best 18-year-old centre-back I have ever seen. He's not the best centre-back I've ever seen, but at the age of 18, I've never seen a centre-back like that. He was dominating in that Sierra Leone against Egypt game. Mo Salah, Marmoush, they were getting bucketed by Yumaba. So, this man, he does not need a season on loan. He could come in and be our best centre-back. Now, Pep won't like him because passing-wise, he's not quite the same level as some of the others. But that's why he'll have a season on the bench. I think have this man here, one season on the bench, we've got an incredible player there. Pep going to play treble system, only change will be Cambiasso inverted into midfield. Do you think we'll get Cambiasso, by the way? What's your thoughts on that?
I don't want him. I think we'll get him. I see a lot of this fan base again, just who never watched him before, just saying, Cambiasso's the guy I want, Cambiasso's the guy I've want, and they probably never watched Serie A before. I've watched like I said, one game of Cambiasso. I've looked at his injury history, a couple of reoccurring injuries there, and I looked at what Juventus fans are saying like you. I go on Juventus fan pages and they say, good, we want him gone, trash anyway. If he is that bad in a Juventus team, and he's not even standing out in a poor Juventus team, he's not going to come here and set the world alight. I don't think he'll be a good signing, to be honest. And his injuries, like I said, recently have been reoccurring.
Yeah. And reoccurring injuries, by the way, if you look at injury lists, if you see a broken bone in an injury, like a broken leg, like Oscar de Bob, that generally recovers pretty well, unless it's a ligament that breaks. If you have a broken knee, that's fucked. But if it's like a broken leg or something like that, those players after injury will be fine. If it's a lot of muscle injuries, or ligaments, even worse, those injuries, they make players worse. They actually do. Would not be shocked if Diaz goes. Really? Do you think Diaz is going? I don't think there's any chance of that.
Not this summer, but honestly, if this guy don't pick himself up, because he's still good, but I want him to get back to that level. I can see I don't think he's going to be here as long as people expect. I think in 2 years, I think Juma Bar will come through and perhaps take someone's spot. I think Gavadio being alongside him, and it's up to Diaz to get back to that level if Juma Bar and Gavadio get above him. I can see Diaz leaving in a couple of years' time, but not this year.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's nailed on for him to stay like a decade like some people are expecting.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. Yeah, good guess in case we can't get Theo Hernandez, because Theo Hernandez is actually quite difficult to get in, isn't he? And Liam doesn't even rate him. He's only
Well,
got 48 of him.
only time I've watched him, he's got a red card, and I think it was for diving, actually, so much stupid like that.
Problem is, Rustanov's recovery pace is not the same. I've got something here from Jet again. You can't play Rustanov on right back and expect him to do the same as Kyle Walker did. Kyle Walker was a way better crosser of the ball. People talk shit about Kyle Walker, but he added a lot of support as a fullback to his winger. And his crossing is better than Rustanov. I don't think we can have treble season tactics with Rustanov there as right back. Rustanov, I think that guy might actually be fighting for the minutes. And he's good, but I think he'll have to fight for his minutes. I think he'll have to earn them. I think he'll play a lot against weaker teams, bottom 5 in the table teams. I think that will be majority of his minutes, actually.
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree.
Yeah, this is a good list here from Lakshim. It's pretty much the same list as you, except he's got a Gambiaso in it. Yeah, my watch long is starting in I'd actually begun 3 minutes ago, but I will redirect there when we get to the bottom of the chat. Liverpool gets Kerkez. Nah. We have bigger pull than Liverpool, let's be honest. We have bigger pulling power than Liverpool. Because a lot of people yet, they talk about Liverpool. FSG do not offer the same contracts and do not spend the same amount of money as Man City. So we just have better pulling power because we spend more money. So I think if ever Man City and Liverpool fight for the player, Man City will almost always win. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I agree with that. The crazy thing is, as big as Liverpool are, well, I'm not even going to say they're big because their fan base, they are big, but their fan base, we're enemies now, Liverpool fans, most of you, just constantly pinging me yesterday through my journey home. Constantly pinging me, so I ended up deleting that tweet. But yeah, I think we'd win a race with Liverpool, in my opinion. That's why I'd hijack that deal.
Kerkez is already a Liverpool player, is he? Let me look this up. Transfermarkt Kerkez. Is he on loan to Bournemouth? I did not know that, actually.
No, it's just like some journalists saying that he's agreed terms and stuff. It's not a Liverpool player yet, but I think there's some sort of terms agreed. But like, go and hijack it. At least try. Because the guy's never got an injury, and that's like a big positive in my opinion.
Yeah, he's not a Liverpool player. Might as well go hijack that. And if you can't hijack it, oh well, go get your Theo Hernandez. Go get someone else. It's not that big of a deal if you can't hijack it, but if you can, you've gotten a player away from Liverpool, stopped them from strengthening back up, and you've got a really good player in yourself. I believe you said Robinson earlier. I do rate Robinson as well, if you can't get Kerkez. So, honestly, not getting Kerkez is not a big problem for him. There's so many other left backs available right now. Newcastle is playing Crystal Palace right now. Is Newcastle playing right now?
Yeah, I saw that before. I'm like, what? Well, Premier League game. I think it's their game in hand from the Carabao Cup final, I think.
Yeah, and they're winning 1-0. So what does that do in the Premier League table? It puts Man City 5th, just 1 point ahead of Chelsea. We're barely hanging on, aren't we?
I think we'll draw to Everton.
Yeah, I think so too, but we actually calculated all the stuff on Blue Friday's show, and we don't actually need to win. We don't need to win against Everton. I'm going to be relaxed that game, man. I'm just going to be like, hands up, okay. We probably get fucked against Everton and get a go. And just no stress. Don't worry about it because it's a dead rubber. We don't need the points there. We've got all the games that I expect to get the points. So I don't care about that Everton game, to be honest.
Yeah, I think we've got other games coming up. I think a draw would be fine. I said last week, there's no excuses for Palace. Don't call me a fake fan. I'm just saying there's no. It's not you. I said this to my chat. Don't call me a fake fan, people. I'm just saying there's no excuses. Next week, I think there's an excuse. I think it's all right to draw to Everton because I've looked at the fixtures. I think a draw on Saturday. Honestly, if you offer me it now, I'd take it. I mean, has any big team won there? I'd not.
No.
It doesn't spring to mind.
yeah, Goodison Park, it's just very difficult to play. You know what, yeah? If we beat Man United, by the way, this Everton game would matter even less. So I'm just saying, but I'm not going to complain about Old Trafford again. I've been complaining about that enough. Thank you for coming on, Liam. I've enjoyed having you on, talking about transfers a bit. Thank you for coming on. I've gone a bit above time here. I'll see you on the next one. And thank you to everyone in chat for getting me over to 700 to big up for the rate. And I'll see you guys on the next one.